Hi, I'm John Smelser and welcome to Ahtna 101 Animal Words Part 2. Last week we learned all kinds of animal words. Remember, the word for animal in general is konesi. So let's start off with some other words. All over Alaska in the interior, where Ahtna's from, we see lynx, like bobcat, the big cat. And the word for lynx is nidui, nidui. And there's also a little animal called a marmot. You usually find them living around higher altitudes and rocks. And our word for marmot is simply kyuhi, kyuhi. And then there's another animal that we trap sometimes. It's kind of like a weasel. It's called a marten. And our word for marten is chugi, chugi. Another thing is like mink. The little skinny mink they go around catching all kinds of things. Mink is te chutsi, te chutsi. One of the most common words that you see is, and such one of my favorite words, is mouse. Just a little old mouse. And the word is duluni, duluni. There's a lot of myths that have mouses in it. Then there's the muskrat. Not to be confused with beaver, which was cha, but the muskrat. And the muskrat is simply just gen. It sounds like a J sound, but we spell it with a D and a Z, D-Z-E-N, gen. There's a lot of words associated with it. There are some otters. I've seen otters in Alaska, especially around our lakes. And our word for otter is totke, totke. And one of my favorite words of all is porcupine. The ones with the big spiky spikes. Well, porcupine is simply is nuni, nuni. Remember, mouse was dluni, or a porcupine is nuni. And one of the other words that's very common is rabbit, and that's just gok, gok. And one of our rivers and one of our villages is on the Gakona River, and the village is Gakona Village. And there was so many rabbits a long time ago that they named it Gakona River. And you can hear the gok, rabbit river. So that's all for this episode. Stay tuned for episode 3 of Animal Names, because there's so many.